They appear lifeless, stone eyes fixed in eternal stares. But some statues possess a disturbing aura, a sense that something isn't quite right. And sometimes, those suspicions are caught on tape. Get ready to witness the impossible. Statues that move, that change expression, that seem to defy the very laws of existence. Prepare to question whether your eyes can be trusted.
Starting off at number 10 now, we have Jesus. This video comes from the Chapel of Saltillo in Mexico. The camera person is filming a statue of Jesus, which is inside a glass box. As the camera zooms in, this happens. Jesus appears to open his eyes. The camera then pans off to the right for a moment, and after a few seconds, Jesus' eyes close. This clip blew up on social media, with some people saying it was a miracle. Other people said there had to be some sort of explanation for it, but everyone was a little bit creeped out. One investigator said the clip had been examined for weeks by 20 different specialists who found no evidence that it had been tampered with. However, there have been many videos uploaded online claiming to prove that it is a fake. You guys should check it out and let me know what you think. At number 9 now, we have Snow White. Now, not much is known about this clip you're about to see, which kinda makes it creepier in a way. I can tell you that it's from Mexico during the 1990s. The person filming appears to be visiting some sort of kids theme park or exhibition at night that contains statues. He walks up to the Snow White one, apparently transfixed by just how creepy it looks. Well, it got a lot creepier when this happened. What? Obviously, the guy freaked out. I would too. He ran away, so we never got another look at Snow White. The whole thing is still a mystery. Perhaps that's why this clip has been viewed over 500,000 times. Alright, at number 8 now, we have the ancient Egyptian. I'm sure you guys have all heard of the ancient Egyptian curses, right? They say that removing artifacts from the tombs there will bring terror and death to those involved. Well, staff at the Manchester Museum in England were a little bit nervous when they noticed one of their statues appeared to have moved. They installed a camera to watch it, and this is what they saw. One of their 3,800-year-old statues was slowly spinning round throughout the day as the museum's visitors streamed by. They think the reason was that the visitors' footsteps had caused minute vibrations that nudged the statue out of place. Other people still argue that this wouldn't be possible, and it's actually a sign of some sort of ancient curse. Coming in at number 7 now, we have the moving Buddha, or Buddha, I guess, if you're North American. In 2013, reports started coming out from Malaysia that there were moving Buddhist statues. Video was taken by the crowds who witnessed the event. They say it shows one statue moving its lips and blinking. Soon after that, other statues started to do the same. Apparently they were even moving their fingers though at one point, although we don't get to see that in the video. Critics of this say that the video could have been manipulated, especially as it is such poor quality. However, the crowds of people there that day might have something to say about that. What do you guys think? Next up at number 6 now, we have the floating statue. In the summer of 1985, 100,000 people visited a statue of Mary in a small Irish village. The statue was nothing out of the ordinary until a few locals there said they had seen it floating in the air. Then, a few dozen people showed up. Then hundreds and finally thousands went to see this event. When it all started, the local police sergeant was very skeptical. He went down there to check it out, and sure enough, there it was, floating. He was convinced it must have been a hoax, something to do with wires perhaps. He went and checked behind the statue and found nothing. When he tried to move the statue himself, it wouldn't even budge. Now, critics say there isn't enough evidence for this and that it could have actually been a trick of the light. Interesting story either way. Coming in at number 5 now, we have Sai Baba. Now, he was an Indian spiritual master who is known to Indian Hindus and Muslims for his teachings on shunning materialism and living a life of love and inner peace. In 2016, a statue of him appeared to practice these very teachings. Whenever believers would put garlands of flowers on him to pay their respects, it would always end up broken off from him. The temple owners set up a camera, and this is what they saw. Now, critics say the explanation for this is simple, it's just gravity. The garlands were simply slipping off the statue. But believers still say you can clearly see the statue's shoulders moving. You guys have seen the clip now, what do you make of it? Alright, next up at number 4 now, we have Crying Mary. In early 2017, in the town of Los Naranjos in Argentina, a statue of the Virgin Mary appeared to cry blood. Now, here is the video showing the statue in question. Some locals called it a miracle, while others said it was some kind of punishment and they were very scared. Priest Ricardo Quiroga urged everyone to remain calm, but also said if she cries again, we need to do something at a high level in the church. An investigation team was launched to find out whether this phenomenon was a hoax or a potential miracle. Alright, coming out at number 3 now we have Jesus 2. Yeah, I'm going to call this one Jesus 2 because we've already had a Jesus one. In April 2017, a video from Mexico started circulating online of a statue of Jesus that appeared to move during a service. This happened in the state of Jalisco during their Good Friday Mass. See what you think. Did you guys catch that? Well, here it is in slow motion. Immediately, members of the church started saying it was a miracle. However, even the priest stayed skeptical and said it could have been the ropes that hold the statue up coming loose. Coming in at number 2 now, we have jinn. Now, a jinn is a supernatural creature in Arabic mythology. It's where we get our word genie from. They are said to be good, neutral, or evil, just like humans. Here we have a video uploaded in June 2017 that claims to show a jinn possessing a Hindu statue through its eyes. Now, as you watch the clip, notice how the statue's eyes appear to move, almost as if it was watching the camera person or even the person watching this video. One of the most creepy things about this video is that there is little explanation for who filmed it or even what happened to them after the video cut off. Some critics claim it's an optical illusion, while others agree with the uploader that we're seeing something demonic in this video. And finally, at number 1 now, we have the cloak. This clip comes from early 2016 in Vietnam. Locals in Ta Pau noticed that a statue of Mary on top of a hill appeared to be moving. Here you can see the clip with the subtitles of what they are saying. Now, they appear to be focused on her moving cloak. It does appear to move, that's for sure, but this is an incredibly grainy piece of footage. Aside from the video, all we really have to go on is the adamant reactions of the people who witnessed this and the verifying by other locals that this is in fact a known solid statue. The debate around this video is part of the reason that it has amassed over 700,000 views. What do you guys think? Starting off at number 10 now, we have Saint Padre Pio. In 2002, the statue of Padre Pio was said to begin shedding tears that some people believed was actually blood. A passerby first noticed it and alerted the local priest. They were unable to wipe away this red substance leaking from the eyes of the statue. As news travelled of this suspected miracle, hundreds came to see the statue in person. This happened just a few months before the Pope made Padre Pio a saint. Some people said this was the reason for this supernatural occurrence. At number 9 now, we have Cochabamba. During Holy Week in 1995, a church in Cochabamba, Bolivia, noticed that their statue of Jesus appeared to be shedding tears of blood. Believers claimed that the tears were tested in an Australian lab and found to contain real human blood. They also said the statue was totally hollow, which was proof that there was no tampering going on. According to locals, the Cochabamba Christ has wept blood every Good Friday since. At number 8 now, we have Los Naranjos. In April 2017, a video emerged online appearing to show the Virgin Mary crying tears of blood. The statue belonged to a man in the town of Los Naranjos in Argentina. The owner of the statue said he noticed the blood in March and said that Mary had visited him in a dream. The statue was then transferred to the local church for pilgrims to visit. An investigation was launched to look for a natural explanation before it was declared as a miracle. The local priest reminded everyone though to not jump to any conclusions. At number 7 now, we have Perth. In 2002, scientists in Australia failed to find the source of tears flowing from the eyes of a statue of the Virgin Mary. The statue was on display in a Catholic church in Perth. It was bought by Patty Powell from Bangkok 8 years before. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary until one day it started dripping with a rose-scented oil-like substance. Visitors came from all over Australia to see it for themselves. The priest and many others claimed it was a miracle, but scientists conducted studies to determine exactly what this liquid was. Moving on to number 6 now, we have Fresno. In May 2016, Maria Cardenas from Fresno, California, said her statue of Mary had been crying. She said it all started a year and a half before when her cousin died. Apparently, Maria came home one day and said the statue's eyes were welling up with a liquid. She said it was tears, others said it could have been actual blood. Maria said she doesn't really understand why the statue was doing that, but believes it could be linked to her cousin's death. Overall, she saw the crying as something good. At number 5 now, we have La Madonnina. In February 95, the La Madonnina statue, or Little Madonna, was said to weep tears of blood in the town of Pantano, Italy. The statue belonged to Fabio Gregori. He said that one morning he heard his 6-year-old daughter cry out that the statue was crying blood. Over the next few days, the crying was witnessed by dozens of witnesses, both believers and not. A commission of theologians claimed it as a supernatural event. Alright, at number 4 now guys, we have Jalisco. In November 2016, a crying statue of the Virgin Mary was reported in the town of Jalisco in Mexico. A man there told TV crews that he saw blood coming coming out of the statue's glass eyes. This came just a few months after the preserved body of a child saint supposedly opened her eyes in the very same town. Alright, at number 3 now we have Sacramento. In 2005 it was reported that the Vietnamese Catholic Church in Sacramento had a statue of Mary that was said to cry blood. The priest washed off what he assumed were just stains, but 10 days later they reappeared. The statue is now placed outside the church for pilgrims to visit. Over the years the rain rendered the tears as just a small smudge on the statue's face. Still, that doesn't stop people from visiting the statue even to this day. Moving on to number 2 now, we have Akita. In 1973 a convent in Akita, Japan reported a strange happening with their statue of the Virgin Mary. A nun began having holy visions of angels and showed signs of stigmata on her hands, the same wounds that Jesus received during crucifixion. Blood also poured out from the statue's palms. Over the next 2 years the statue was said to have produced rose-scented sweat and wept tears of blood 101 times, often in front of believers and even a television audience. And finally, number 1 now, we have another statue of Mary. In August 2016 it was reported that a statue of the Virgin Mary in Bolivia had been crying blood. The local priest claimed that the Virgin Mary statue was bleeding from its eyes and hands. Samples of the substance were sent off to be tested to see if it really was human blood. Churchgoers were hoping that this would be enough for the Vatican to announce it as a miracle.
Getting started with this one at number 10 with the man himself, Jesus. I mean, whoa, at the end of the clip, it looks like Jesus is looking straight into your soul and he's judging you. Now, I know there's gonna be a lot of conflicting comments in this one, but seriously, do you guys think that this Jesus statue is actually blinking his eyes and moving his mouth? Or do you think this is an animatronic or a robot thing and it's not a statue, it's just made out to look like one? I've read that a lot of churches will come up with deceiving ways to make it look like their religious statues are moving so that people will attend their church. So I think that might be the case here. It would be both extremely scary and interesting if the statue was actually moving though. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hashtag it moved or hashtag hell no. The rotating Egyptian statue spins into number 9. An ancient Egyptian statue caused a lot of pandemonium at a museum in Manchester when it was discovered that it was turning on its axis inside of its display case. Curators and workers at the museum immediately said that this ancient statue must be cursed because there is no other logical explanation for it. I'll let you guys be the judge. Here's a clip of this creepy statue moving in its sealed display case. This statue is dated back to the 1800s BC and it was found in a mummy's tomb, so I get why people think that the statue was cursed. The workers were so scared of this phenomenon, so they decided to record it moving on a time-lapse video, and they were astonished that the statue spun 180 degrees without anyone going near it. Well, I hate to burst your bubble here, but the statue isn't cursed with an ancient spell. It rotates because there is a small vibration in the display case that causes it to turn. So I guess we don't have to call a witch to lift the spell. We don't need to call the Ghostbusters either. Virgin Mary moves lips during a prayer, and this stage phenomenon makes its way onto this list at number 8. Alright, so back in July of 2015, there were some reports over in Australia that a painting of the Virgin Mary was seen moving her lips. Apparently her lips were moving in sync of a prayer at the Charbells Church, and there was actually 3 people who witnessed this. One of them managed to film the incident, so here it is for you guys.
Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
So this footage was quickly uploaded onto the internet, and a lot of Catholic people believe that this is a very special miracle. But of course, there are a lot of skeptics who argue that this is actually a hoax. I'm one of those skeptics. They claim that the movement of the camera and the lighting in the church act as an optical illusion, and that's why it looked like her lips are moving. Well, I hate to burst your bubbles, but even the church stated that they believe that this video is nothing more than an optical illusion. Buddha statue makes its way onto this list of number 7. Over in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, several Buddha statues in the Phu Xian service center was caught moving. Now this really happened. I couldn't even make this stuff up even if I wanted to. If I was in this temple praying, I think I would bolt to the door. A lot of worshippers stayed in the temple because they believed that these Buddha statues were trying to send them a positive message, but personally I would find the nearest exit, bathe in some holy water, and I probably wouldn't have any statues or gnomes at my house anytime soon. These Buddha statues were seen moving their lips, blinking, moving their chest and hands, and emitting lights. This happened for almost an hour straight, and of course I have a clip for you guys. Okay, is this real life right now? Did you guys see the statue blink and emitting a bright light? Kinda creepy. After the service ended, 100 people lined up to speak to the abbot of the temple to tell him that they saw these statues moving. This is too much for me. I can't handle this one, so let's move on. Up next, number 6, we have this mysterious statue that was caught moving. As you guys probably guessed, a lot of these statues that were caught moving are religious figures or artifacts, and this is no different. I'm about to play you guys a clip of Sai Baba statue, and it's moving on camera. Sai Baba is an Indian spiritual leader who is regarded as a saint. So let's take a look at the clip I have for you guys. This was a night vision camera that was able to capture the statue moving on its own. It looks like the statue used its arms to remove the decoration that it's hanging on its neck. I don't know about you guys, but I find this extremely creepy, and I think I'm about to go back to my condo and remove all my statues from my house. Anything that sits still in my house, I am moving. I don't want anything moving at this time. I definitely wouldn't want to catch my Groot statue moving, or would I? Actually, I have a baby Groot at home, and that would be kind of cool to have a baby Groot as a friend. In at number 5, get ready and pray, because we're talking about Jesus. I'm about to play a clip for you guys of a Jesus statue moving his head, and this is during a Catholic procession. Get your Bibles out and prepare to be scared. Okay, did you guys see that? A lot of religious people say that this is a true sign from God, while others claim that this footage is fake because they can see the cloth of the statue's back moving. Either way, this clip was filmed during the pilgrimage in 2004 in a city called Saltillo in Mexico, and ever since it was uploaded onto YouTube, it has sparked a lot of controversy. Some people can't believe that others would swallow this story, while others are claiming that they have just seen other Jesus statues do the same thing, and one person even said that his Virgin Mary statue that he keeps in his house has been weeping blood for 4 months. I mean, whoa, buddy, what kind of sins have you committed? Your Virgin Mary is crying out blood? I think it's time to get out of the house. Go and pray. So yeah, I think it's time to repent and visit a confession. Maybe turn yourself into the police, because something is up. Let's stay on topic of Jesus in at number 4. Yep, Jesus did it again. A crucified Jesus statue was seen moving its head during a Good Friday Mass in the Mexican state of Jalisco. Worshippers who attended the event said that his head moved slightly and that it was a miracle. They believed that he wanted to tell them something, or that he wanted something from them. Let's not take their word for it. Have a look for yourself. What do you guys think? Was this some sort of miracle, or could there be another reasonable explanation? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, because I'm actually pretty curious on what you guys have to say about this. Despite a lot of the worshippers believing that this Jesus statue was a miracle, the priest of the Mexican church claims that there is a lot more logical explanations. He claims that the statue's head collapsed because the ropes holding it became loose. Let's maybe stray away from Jesus for a little bit, just for a little bit. Don't be hating on me now. And let's talk about Snow White. And Snow White comes in at number 3. This footage was captured by an anonymous source, and if you look closely, you're able to see the Snow White statue blinking. Just a warning though, you probably shouldn't watch this video if you're weak at heart. Okay, no, that's no joke. This doesn't sit well with me, and I don't think we'll ever be able to get that image out of our heads. I mean, come on. The statue's eyes are painted on, and she doesn't have any eyelids, so how the heck is this even possible? We are being trolled. We have to be, right? There are some scary witchcraft going on here, or she's possessed by the blinking demon. Okay, moving on to number 2 on our list, we have the Virgin Mary statue. A Hispanic church in southeastern Mexico is attracting a lot of people from all over the world because a lot of people are claiming that she is weeping tears from her eyes. But I'll play the clip and let you guys be the judge. Do you guys think this is real? Apparently people visit the statue to pray and cry to her with hopes of being healed. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I would ever visit a statue that is known to cry. This just seems super weird, super scary. I'm not sure what to think of it. Maybe possessed, maybe it's possessed by an evil spirit. But then again, there are a lot of other people who say that unless the Pope verifies that the statue is really crying, it must be a hoax. Finally, at the top spot on our list, number 1, we have this creepy statue, and of course, I have to warn you guys with this one. This clip is actually really creepy, and I think you're gonna have nightmares for days because of it, so you're welcome. Yeah, I warned you guys, so I'm sorry parents for kids not being able to sleep tonight. I think we're going to need to start a support group for people who have witnessed statues moving because this video is a little bit too much to handle. And what is it with Jesus statues moving all over the world? I'm a little bit concerned about this. After this video was uploaded onto the internet, paranormal investigators and experts spent weeks investigating this video, and they concluded that this video wasn't edited in any way, which scares me so much. Apparently more than 20 paranormal specialists, as well as priests, sculptors, video editors, and other special effect designers, they've spent a long time analyzing this video. So basically a bunch of professionals looked into this video and said that it was real. I don't know if I believe it still, although it got checked out by analysts. I don't know, unless I'm there, I could see the original footage. I just can't believe it, because how is it even possible?
Number 10, I'm still shocked and appalled by this, but at the same time, it is one of my favourite things to have ever happened ever. We have the Cristiano Ronaldo bust. I don't think I'm ever gonna stop finding images of the 2017 unveiled bust of Cristiano Ronaldo funny. Sculptor Emmanuel Santos just didn't get it right, did he? The bust was commissioned for display at Madeira Airport in Portugal. Ronaldo, of course, is a Portuguese football superstar who now plays for Juventus FC in Italy. The 34-year-old is an absolute superstar, a very well-known face, so I don't know why his face ended up looking like this. Sculptor Santos said, "I wanted to reflect his inner strength when he was preparing to take a free kick or a corner." Instead, to me, he kind of ended up reflecting what the star would look like if he was hit in the face by a bat, but was oddly happy about it. When the football star visited the bust on its grand unveiling day, he actually found it pretty funny. Who wouldn't? I'm glad he's got a sense of humour. Funny as it may have been, many good people of the internet found it scary. Soccer AM tweeted that the bust gets creepier the more you zoom in, which actually, yeah. Others photoshopped him peeping from a drain in the style of Pennywise from It, like peekaboo. Honestly, this is just so funny that I can't even laugh about it anymore because I've laughed about it so much. But trust me, I'm laughing inside. I don't love this at number 9, I really don't. I don't find it funny, I find it creepy. We have the man-eating rabbit. I guess from the title of this point, you probably have a preconception of what this might look like, so let's see if it matches up with your imagination. There we go. To me, this is just classic Czech Republic. This sculpture was created by Adam Turbusek, who says that he was inspired by Francisco de Goya's work, Saturn Devouring His Son. To be honest, I love that piece, it's so dramatic, I laugh every time. Maybe that's not the point, but I find it kind of funny. Turbusek said, "In my sculpture, it is depicting society. I showed it for what it really is. The man is in the grip of the system, he is helpless and sick." It's a very rabbit of Caerbannog. Run away! Run away! Coming in at number 8, we have nightmare arachnids. I literally just said arachnids to enhance the drama, but still, giant spider statues? Hard no from me. Sculptor Louise Bourgeois created 6 giant spider sculptures in 1997 and has since become the highest paid woman artist in history as a result of a later auction of one of the beasties, one of which had a shocking price tag of $28.2 million. I am really pleased for her and I'm gonna let her finish, but these are some of the scariest sculptures of all time. Honestly, look at that big spider in Washington DC. To me it seems like the start of some kind of apocalypse movie. From 6 spiders to 6 broken men at number 7, we have the broken men. That's right, not 1 but 6 creepy statues line the steps heading up the Petrin Hill in Prague. This series of sculptures are very scary and seem to disappear as you walk up the steps, their bodies mutating and splitting open and lacking limbs. Never a party. The collection is as a memorial to the victims of the former communism regime, with a plaque reading that 4,500 people died in prison, 327 were shot trying to escape, and 248 were executed. The stressful thing about these statues is that they appear to decay, which I really don't like. Shall we take a trip to the underworld at number 6? Let's have it. We are seeing the Ghosts of Hell Garden. This is another, I don't know, should we call it a collection? I think we shall. These statues are, I guess they're pretty horrifying, aren't they? Their tongues look like fruit roll-ups, but not even in a fun and tasty way. It's more a, please keep those away from me, stop waggling them way. Blech. Tongues. Tongues are creepy. It seems that these statues are located in Wang Sen Suk Gardens in Bang Sen City in Thailand. The large beings are depicting pretas, hungry ghosts of materialistic people cursed to spend the afterlife in a constant state of famish, craving money, power, fame, sex, or food. Below these hungry ghosts are smaller statues, some of which are being disemboweled, others are being savaged by dogs. I believe one member of the garden party is being boiled alive. I think it's time for me to do my shocked face again. But also grossed out face. It seems that near the statues are little donation boxes to encourage you to give to charity. If you don't, well, then maybe you'll find yourself in this garden for reals. I don't know, is that what they're trying to say? To me this doesn't say donate, it says run far away from the disemboweling dogs. Okay, let's check out of hell and take a trip to a lovely, beautiful garden in upstate New York where a horrifying ghoul of a departed celebrity haunts. Coming in at number 5, we have Scary Lucy. I literally just went to Celeron in New York and stayed right next to the Lucille Ball former haunting ground in a park beside the lovely Chautauqua Harbor Hotel. These days there is a great statue of the iconic Queen of the Bees, but the original Lucille Ball statue was absolutely nightmare-inducing. The statue by New York sculptor Dave Poulin has been dubbed Ugly Lucy and Scary Lucy, and honestly I can see why. She's holding a bottle which is supposed to be Vitamita Vegemin, but kind of looks like a scary drunk bottle. She looks like a scary drunk woman in the park that you don't want to meet. The statue caused so much shock and outrage that it was recently replaced by a much more legit looking piece. What happened to Scary Lucy though? Is she like in someone's basement somewhere? From New York to Ireland next, at number 4 we have the Ferryman's End. This truly horrifying sculpture can be found in Victoria's Way, County Wicklow in Ireland. Making the sculpture arguably scarier is its positioning in an algae covered pool. Blech. Scary statue, scary pool. It seems that there's a sign behind the sculpture that reads, "The ferryman's craft lies dead in the water. Unable to move, he can no longer reach the other shore and touch it. Unable to touch, he cannot become real, identified and fully energized, hence joyful. Unmoving, he sinks and he dies." Great! Do you want a closer look at his face? Here you go. I think that this statue is even scarier than most because it depicts a person stuck in a rut, unable to get themselves out, and honestly, what could be worse? Coming into number 3, we have a statue from the very same garden. We have the Split Man. Ooh, seeing this makes me want to recoil into myself. "Create or die" reads the dagger that the statue figure is using to cut themselves in half with. Yes, they are cutting themselves right through the head. Blech. It seems that the Split Man is illustrating how procrastination and the inability to focus on creativity will result in a life unworthy of living. Create or die. The park seems scary, but also at the same time pretty cool. Victor's Way is a park designed for adults to encourage them to think outside of the box and do some reflecting on the meaning of life, which I can get on board with, but really, is the meaning, the splitting, it's too much for me. Oh, hello, I was wondering when a weeping statue would turn up. Coming in at number 2, we have the Hazarot Angel. Okay, so listen, the Doctor Who weeping angels are a work of fiction, albeit brilliant fiction, but you know what? Even though they aren't real, they definitely are scary and they definitely shocked the world. If you are afraid of weeping angels, you may want to steer clear of Lakeview Cemetery in Cleveland, Ohio. Why? Well, there's a life-size bronze statue that appears to cry, like actually cry. Not only that, the statue is depicting the Angel of Death. So, you know, not a great omen. The statue sits leaning on an upside down torch that has been extinguished, symbolizing life that has been, you know, snuffed out. Apparently the shocking statue draws a regular crowd, people who want to come and see her cry. Honestly, I'd rather leave her to it. Also, fun fact for you, the sculptor who made this angel is buried in the same cemetery. Kinda sends a chill up my spine. Whew. Okay, who else could be at number 1 in place of this headline grabbing statue? It's the ultimate scary shocking statue. It's Virgin Mary. She's crying blood. It's a tale as old as time, isn't it? A Virgin Mary statue crying blood. It's the end of times. In August 2018, Frias Mendoza from Argentina claimed that he had a statue that cried blood and even went as far as to capture it on video. He said, "I thought it was some kind of punishment and was scary." He soon made his peace with it though, and thousands of people started flocking to see it in a local church. One skeptical person joked, the local parish priest must have done a degree in marketing. I mean, it is scary though. Ugh, blood crying Mary. Stop it. Stop it. So guys, that was that. Can we please just get one more look at Cristiano Ronaldo's bust, because it's just too good. All hail the new bronze god. If that started crying, I honestly really would be scared.
Virgin Mary statue weeping oil soaks into number 10. A large number of religious people surround the statue of the Virgin Mary in northern Israel because the statue is known for weeping a healing oil. A family who owns the statue strongly believes that the Virgin Mary statue weeps miracle oil that is known to heal different kinds of sicknesses and diseases. Let's take a look at the statue for ourselves. Okay, what do you guys think? Could this be some kind of miracle healing oil, or is it just a scheme that this family came up with? I think it might be a placebo effect because these people truly want to believe that the statue is responsible for producing miracle oil, but I'm pretty skeptical about this. But I don't know how you would explain the oil coming from her eyes, whether this is real or not. I'm officially creeped out here, so let's quickly move on to number 9. A Hindu goddess eyes caught blinking blinks its way into number 9 on this list. This statue is Lord Kali, and this Hindu goddess is known as the destroyer of evil forces, and she is also seen as a divine protector. So it seems like she'd be a good statue to have in your home, right? Well, according to this video, I'm not too sure anymore. Take a look at this. It literally looks like the statue's eyes are piercing through your soul and watching every move you make. Maybe the person who filmed this was an evil person, and the statue was like, yeah, I see you. Don't come any closer. And what's going on with her skull necklace? She doesn't seem like a very inviting or friendly goddess to me. Her eyes freaked me out, and I think after watching this video, I probably won't be able to sleep at night. Oh, and did you guys notice that scary looking sickle she's holding on to? This statue is too much for me. Next up, number 8, we have a moving doll statue caught moving on camera. This video is in Spanish, so let me translate it for you. Hello, I'm a possessed doll, and I'm coming to kill you. So basically, this is a very possessed doll that was given to this young girl on her 15th birthday. I'm pretty sure I'd rather stick to the brand new car. Or is that 16? Is Sweet 16 the brand new car? The girl in this video is making fun of her doll, and she's saying that the doll is really ugly. Well, I guess the doll didn't like this too much because this happened shortly after. The evil doll wasn't going to take any of her negativity. She moved her head and gave the teenage girl a death stare. I'm kind of on this doll's side here. Now, obviously, I'd probably burn this doll, bury it far away from me, or dump it into a fast-moving river, make sure, it doesn't come back. But you know what? I'm kind of glad this doll stood up for herself. I'm just glad I've never had to deal with a possessed doll that could probably murder me in my sleep. Have you guys ever experienced anything like this? Let me know your craziest stories in the comment section section below. Virgin Mary weeping, blood drips into number 7. What's with the Virgin Mary's eyes? I mean, get that thing under control. Maybe buy some Visine, because honestly, these statues are freaking me out. Most times the statues of the Virgin Mary who are seen crying blood or oil have been found to have been just an elaborate hoax put together by people who are obviously trying to get some money from visiting pilgrims. When experts are called in to perform a formal investigation on these statues, it is found that these people inserted tiny pipes running through the statue which releases liquid gradually. Okay, so knowing all of this now, let's look closely at this creepy Virgin Mary crying blood. I'm gonna call this one as being a hoax. I don't want to insult the Virgin Mary and have a negative karma, so you know what? I think let's move on to the next one. A creepy little Barbie makes its way onto this list at number 6. After watching this video, I'm totally convinced that Barbies are evil and possessed and probably shouldn't be sold in toy stores. Take a look for yourself.
Você mexia. O que aconteceu com você? Fala alguma coisa.
Alright, so it appears like this little girl is having the best day, you know, playing with her 2 Barbies. Yeah, that's what I thought, but then I kept watching the video and then this happened.
Tá bom.
Let's watch that again in slow-mo. So I'm definitely convinced now that Toy Story is probably real, and if you mistreat your toys, then they are probably planning on how they're going to kill you when you're sleeping. If I were to able to get a hold of this Barbie, I don't think I'd even give it to my worst enemy, and I'm pretty sure I had the exact same reaction as this little girl when I first watched this video. Except my scream was definitely louder, and a much more higher pitch. She's probably scared for her life, and I think it's safe to say that she doesn't own any more Barbie. Virgin Mary opens her eyes, and this makes its way into this list at number 5. On our previous list, there was a lot of Jesus statues caught moving on camera, but on this list, we have a lot of Virgin Mary statues moving on camera. What is worse? I don't know what it is with these religious statues, but it is a huge phenomenon all over the world. This list is making me want to get rid of any statues that I have, because I don't want them lurking into my place at night, planning on how they're going to kill me or even punish me or just scare the bejesus out of me. But anyways, this creepy Virgin Mary statue was caught on a surveillance camera opening and closing her eyes. She looks like she was made out of concrete or stone, and I don't have an explanation for this. I don't know how this is happening. I'll play the clip, and in the comment section below, tell me what you think caused the eyes to move. I'm at loss for words here. I feel like I should go pray or bathe in holy water like now. So you know what? It's time to change things up. Let's talk about the Krishna statue, and this comes in number 4. Krishna is one of the major gods in Hinduism, who is the god of compassion, tenderness, and love. This particular statue was seen moving after someone reviewed a security camera one night. Hopefully this doesn't freak you out too much, but take a look at this. It looks like Krishna moved his right arm, and people who discovered him moving have no idea how he did it. There is literally no explanation for this, and I'm not sure if I want an explanation for this. I mean, is this real life right now? I don't know how inanimate objects move on their own. Some people will say that, you know, it's a camera trick, people have good editing skills, and some will say it's the power of God. Or I say it's possessed by some evil spirits. I think it's just creepy, and I need someone to come up with a logical explanation as to why these statues appear to be moving on their own, because I don't know how much of this creepiness I can actually handle. Hanuman drinking from a spoon makes its way onto this list at number 3. Hanuman is the symbol of strength and energy, and he is worshipped for his unselfish devotion to God. Well, apparently he also enjoys drinking milky substances from a spoon. I don't know how to explain this one. I mean, does this statue have some sort of vacuum in his mouth and that's how he's able to drink the liquid? Or is he really drinking from a spoon? A lot of people in the comment section of this video are saying that the statue is robotic, but then there are a lot of people who believe that the statue is actually moving on its own. I need to know the truth here. We need to start a moving statue investigation club or something, because I think it's time that we have answers. A Jesus statue moves his head. Oh, I couldn't believe this one. And this brings us into number 2. You didn't think I'd go through another statue video and not have Jesus in it, did you? Well, yeah, we had it. So we're talking about Jesus again. There's literally so many videos of Jesus statues moving during a religious ceremony, and this one is no exception. Let's take a look at this scary clip.
Reconozcan al Señor Jesús como el Hijo amado, el que el Padre ha enviado para salvación de todos.
Okay, so this video that you just saw was uploaded by someone who went to a church in Mexico, and once the statue moved his head, the priest seemed to stumble on his words. He was so mystified by the moving statue. I would stumble on my words too. Actually, no. I would stop talking, dismiss everyone, and probably get the hell out of there. I don't think this is supposed to be some sort of miracle. I don't think I'd be around a moving Jesus statue, because statues aren't supposed to be moving here. I don't know how people could be so calm about this. Okay, moving into number 1 spot, we have a statue in a cemetery who opens and closes her eyes. I honestly don't know who has the time or energy to stand in a creepy cemetery to film statues, you know, moving all day. I think it's time for a more healthy and productive hobby, because this one is actually kind of disturbing. But as you saw from the video, this stone statue was caught opening and closing her eyes, and I don't see how this is remotely possible because she is literally made from stone. Her eyelids aren't supposed to be able to move. The entire video is a minute long. If I was filming a statue and it blinked at me, I'm pretty sure I would drop my camera and run for my life. But no, this person actually decided to stick around for some reason. Like, that's why I believe this thing is not real, because this person didn't react how a normal person would actually react. And at number 10 spot, we have a Virgin Mary statue whose lips appear to be moving during a prayer. You don't believe me? Well, let's roll the footage.
Come, Holy Spirit, come find me through the fire of intercession of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, your outpost sons.
If you look very closely at her lips, they actually do look like they're moving with the prayer, but a lot of people are arguing that it could be lighting or even a camera trick. I don't know what it is with religious statues caught moving on camera, but it happens in many churches and other religious locations. Do you guys think that the statue was really moving, or do you guys think this is a camera trick? Some people even say that churches claim that these statues are moving in order to attract more people into the church. I don't know about you, but that would not attract me. You're talking about a moving statue, I'm not going in. It's time to pray because things are getting even more scary. And at number 9, we have a cemetery statue that has been caught moving. I mean, is this real life right now? How is this statue not demolished and drenched in holy water? You gotta get the demon out of it. Whatever is making it move has to go. Well, apparently there's a statue located in Mount Olivet Cemetery in Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is here in Canada. Well, it is known to be a dancing statue. It is believed that if you go to this scary cemetery at night and shine your car's headlight on the Jesus statue and then stare at him long enough, he will begin to dance. You're getting a dancing Jesus. First of all, what kind of person would visit a scary cemetery at night? And secondly, why would you wait for a creepy old statue to start dancing for you? Unless it was for YouTube or something, because, you know, we gotta get views on here somehow. You know what? I think there's a little bit of the instructions left out for you. There's actually 3 steps. The 3rd step is you have to take a hallucinogenic so you can see the statue move. Because other than that, I don't think he's going to move. I'm not sure if I believe this or if I believe any of this, but it is insane. And like I said, a lot of you guys are actually sending me footage of moving statues on my Twitter, Outlet and YouTube, and I'm enjoying it, but you guys are freaking me out. Making our way in at number 8 with another Virgin Mary statue, and it was caught moving on camera. And you know what? Let's see what the commotion is about with this one. Here's a video clip for you guys. Thousands of people have claimed that during a processional that they've witnessed this Virgin Mary statue moving in Tapio, Vietnam. They said that when the statue moved, her cloak began to float, and then she turned her head. And you know what? I think I'm gonna have to call BS on this video. I mean, it looks like a windy day, and the person filming this was extremely shaky. I'm more concerned that this person might be actually having a seizure instead of seeing whether or not the statue is really moving. I think our focus is on the wrong thing here. I don't know, I'm just saying. Okay, you know what? Let's change things up. In at number 7 with the moving Buddha statue. Let's watch the clip. Okay, did you guys see that? This giant Buddha statue's head looks like it was moving up and down. Some people in the comment section also said that you can actually see his lips moving slightly. So you know what, I kind of missed it. Let's take another look. I seriously don't know what to believe anymore. What is real? These statues are freaking me out, and we're not even halfway through this list, and I really hope we don't have to make a part 4 of this. Please don't demand it. I think I'm really gonna have to look through my house and remove any statue or just any figures that can possibly move, and we're gonna have a yard sale for other people who are interested in them. And I'll have a sign that says possessed items for sale, 500 bucks a minimum. Our Lady of Guadalupe statue crying makes its way onto this list at number 6. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a long cry after seeing this video because all these statues are scary. Well, thousands of people from around the world are coming to Hobbs Church to see a statue after they heard the Lady of Guadalupe statue started to cry during a mass. These religious people firmly believe that these tears are an act of God and that the statue is nothing short of a miracle. The priest at this church believed that the statue is weeping because of all of its recent violence that is happening in the United States from around the world. Her tears have been tested, and it was confirmed that her tears were made up of rose water, and as soon as you enter the church, you can actually smell it. I don't think I'm going to be buying a plane ticket anytime soon to, verify this. I'll just leave it out there, and I'll just believe it. Moving statues in Ireland, it makes its way onto this list at number 5. Alright, so moving statues have been a huge phenomenon in Ireland since the summer of 1985. What happened before that? I don't really know. Well, in several different parts of the country, statues of the Virgin Mary were reported to have moved spontaneously. In County Cork, a person claimed to have seen a roadside statue of the Virgin Mary moving on her own. After he went public with what he saw, there were similar occurrences that were reported shortly after in other parts of the country. Not all of these reports were of the Virgin Mary statue. Other people claimed that they have seen other divine statues moving in churches and on the mountainside. Despite the Catholic Church taking a spectacle stance, thousands of people visited Ireland each year to hopefully see one of these statues moving with their own eyes. Virgin Mary lips caught moving, and this brings us into number 4. I wasn't lying when I told you guys at the beginning of the video that a lot of these statues caught moving are religious statues. As you will see, majority of them are of the Virgin Mary statue. I wonder if it has any significance. It might. Well, as promised, let's take a look at the clip of this Virgin Mary statue moving her lips. I could clearly see her moving her lips. I don't know about you guys. Again, I'm not sure whether this is a camera or a lighting trick. I mean, for me to believe this, I really have to be there in person, and it has to be moving in real life. But if it moved, I would be running. As soon as it moved, I would just take off in fear. I bet this statue attracts a lot of people because they want to see it with their own eyes. One thing I notice a lot in the comment section of these videos is that a lot of people think that it is a sin to pray and worship statues. It's actually kind of scary in the comment section. There are a lot of people with really strong opinions on these religious figures caught moving on camera. Okay, next up, this one will freak you out. We have a Virgin Mary statue that grows taller, it smiles and cries. Well, the statue makes it into our list at number 3. A priest noticed that a statue originally made of fiberglass has turned into porcelain and grew taller by 7.5 centimeters. Is the statue going through a growth spurt? I mean, it seems to me the statue could have been swapped out by a prankster. Other people have claimed that the statue can also be seen smiling sometimes and also crying. I'm not a doctor, but I think this church has a bipolar statue on their hands. In all seriousness, the people who have seen this Virgin Mary statue in real life claim that she is a miracle and they feel different when they're looking at her. The priest who first noticed that the Virgin Mary statue was moving reported this to the Vatican in order to get the truth. Up next, and at our number 2 spot, we have the Virgin Mary statue crying. Yep, that's right. After this list, the Virgin Mary statue is going to be known as the crying statue. Seriously though, why are there so many Virgin Mary statues caught crying from around the world? Why aren't they happy? Isn't anyone else concerned? No? I guess it's just me then? So, you know what? Let's take a look at another example example of the Virgin Mary statue crying because I have footage for you guys. Did anyone else see that teardrop on her chin and just have a really big urge to just wipe it off? I'm always skeptical when I see or hear about statues caught crying because I think that there's no way that an inanimate object is able to produce tears. I seriously just don't understand this phenomenon. How is this even possible, and why aren't there more experts assigned to get the truth behind all of these crying statues? We need more CSIs, or otherwise known as crying statue investigators. And finally, topping this list in at number 1, you guys guessed it, we have a Virgin Mary statue. Well, this one's actually falling over. Take a look at this shocking clip. Well, you know what? I think it's safe to assume that these people carrying the statue are going straight to hell. This Virgin Mary statue was literally decapitated during this processional. This must have been so traumatizing. Imagine you're in church on a Sunday because you're a good person and you're praying, and one of the most iconic religious figures just falls, and then you see decapitation right in front of you. That can't be a good sign. But as I watched this video over and over, I noticed something weird with her mouth. Let's take another look at the clip, but this time I want you guys to pay attention to her mouth. Okay, did you guys see her mouth open up? It's almost like she was screaming just as she was about to fall. This is almost too much to handle, and I'm really glad that this is the end of this video.
Want to see more videos like this one? Well, check out this video next. It's about mind-bending anomalies that were captured on camera. Click the video now to find out more.